All right, so here we go, guys. So this is the instructions. As I mentioned, it's 52 pages. On the first 3 pages of the instructions, you can find 3 different color schemes that they advise you to do. You can build late Panther models with these tanks, either from 1944 or 1945. Obviously, for the 45, the construction is a bit different. There is some parts which been new and it doesn't show up on the 1944 version. However, the instructions will give you the option that you want to either build 45 or 44, so it is your choice. So for the colors, they do give you 17 colors for the interiors, and they do provide you about 10 or 9 colors depending on which version you are using for the exterior of the model. So it's a total of 26 or either 27 colors you can use. They also advise you the 8 weathering products, which include general wash, filter, streaking grime, rust, track wash, dust, mud, grease, oil. So it's most of the time it's the same. However, in some places a different. Example here, they have fuel stains as well, but mostly the same weathering product you can purchase. This is also for ammo MIG, so all the color numbers and weathering numbers are all there, so you can look it up on the internet and you can purchase it if you need it. So like I said, all Tacom and rifle models, they are all basically working together with the ammo. So this is the paints that they are advise you to use. So me personally, I have never used ammo paints, so that was the first time that I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use it. So I managed to source this one. So this, as you see, this is a pack. It comes with 12 colors ammo, and it says rifle model right here. So this is for the Panther G for interior and exterior. So this is a different version of a model. However, the interior colors will be the same, so you can use this one. And but as we mentioned, you need 26 or 27 colors, so this will not gonna do it by itself, unfortunately. So you managed to get this one as well. That's for the tools. Again, there's some colors here which can be found in the instruction. And I also get this one. This is, I know it's for a King Tiger. However, there's some colors again which is in the instruction. So with these 3 box, you will be able to source most of the colors. However, you still need to buy some of them because it's still not gonna make up for your 26 to 27 colors. So you do need to purchase single color separately in order to come up with all the 27 if you really want to stick to the instructions. So I never used these ammo MIG paints before. This is how they look. They all got a yellow cap. They all got the numbers on the side. What's good about it is they do have a little stirring ball in it. So once you start to shaking it, the ball will start to move, which is kind of helps so the paint doesn't stuck on the bottom of your paint bottles. So that is the only positive thing I can say. So here is the downside, what I find. The ammo MIG colors are 100% acrylic colors. It's not like any other colors like Tamiya or Vallejo, which contains chemicals. So it is, I find it's very, very difficult to work with. So maybe I'm just not good enough, but you know, I'll let you decide for yourself if you have any of these colors or if you decide to buy any of these colors. Like I said, they also have the weathering product as well. So so back to the paints. What I want to say is, because it's an acrylic paint, you do have to work with it in layers. So me personally, I get used to, you know, using Vallejo or Tamiya paints, and then you just put it in the airbrush, you thin it a little bit, you start to spray your model, and it's covering it really nicely, really quickly. You put it away, get dry, and then you can start to work with it. However, with the ammo or ammo paints, you do have to work in layers. So you paint a layer, a very thin layer, barely covering it, then you put it aside, you wait until it dries, and then you do another layer and then another layer. So it's just a lot of time. So it takes up a lot of time. If you are a full-time, you know, employee and you're working somewhere, then you only have, like, let's say, an hour or 2 hours a day to build your models, then you're gonna waste a lot of time waiting for the paints to dry, which is, I find it super annoying and super difficult, you know. So I want to get on with my model. I want to build it and you know, want to make progress every single day, and I don't want to sit there and wait 10 minutes for something to dry and then do another layer and then wait again 10 minutes. So that's not very good with it. The other problem is if you overpaint, if you paint more than, let's say, one layer, or you just like move your airbrush a couple of times, then it does create quite a thick layer on your model, so the paint, it doesn't spread out, and due to that it creates an orange peel effect, which is basically is like little craters gonna be created on your model. So you kind of ruined it, you have to wash it off and you have to restart the whole thing again. So it is very, very annoying, and it's very, very difficult to work with. Another problem I find is once you paint your model and you went through all this hustle, once the model is painted, you know, example in a Tamiya or Vallejo, you finished your model, you go ahead with a wash and everything is fine. Here, if you do not put like a clear coat on your model after you painted with this 100% acrylic paint, then once you go ahead and you put your washes and your white spirit on it, the paints just kind of deteriorate and it just comes off. So again, it is a learning curve, and I haven't found any video which is basically explaining the problems that enamel products will kind of dissolve this 100% acrylic paints, or even the white spirit gonna dissolve it. So it is very annoying. Again, I try to replace the colors where I could with Tamiya or Vallejo or any other paints and try to stay away from this one. So I kind of bit regret it that I bought it. But there is many colors they have which Tamiya doesn't have. So that is a positive thing. But I mean, so I find it extremely difficult to work with. So this is about the paints. Again, it is your choice. If you decide that you want to go down this route, then be prepared that you will going to have problems and everything is going to take 5 times longer to paint than with any other paint. So it is your choice. I am not really happy with it. But it's just my opinion. Don't take it for granted. Maybe it does going to work for you. So here we go, let's get back to the model. So as you can see, they do provide you a couple of pictures for painting instructions or painting for guiding. So you can see one from the gearbox, from the engines, the coolers, the interior, and they do show you the turret basket and the gun mount. So this is what you get. In my opinions, I find it that these pictures are just simply not enough. There is no pictures from sideways. You know, there is many things on the model which is kind of hidden underneath, but you don't see it. You don't see it in the picture, so you have to kind of like guessing what color that could be, or you do have to look up loads of reference pictures, which again takes time. You have to find them and then you have to go by that. Another thing is the color coding is a little bit messed up. So as you can see, there's the 2 seats and there's a 3rd seat there for the commander, and the colors are different. So here it looks like grayish, here it looks like black, but both of them say it should be brown. So, you know, it is a bit confusing. They should have paid attention, but I understand everybody makes mistakes. So yeah, it's not enough pictures, you don't see things. Example, same here, you have this one picture, you don't see anything behind here. There is things being placed, instruments being placed behind these shelves, just right down on the floor. You don't see what color they are, so that is a little bit frustrating. Also, there is no picture of the top cover of the model, so you don't see how the radio should look like or how the gun mount should look like, what color they should be. So that is lacking. Again, other thing with the engine, the other side of the engine, you don't see it. So yeah, So I find that this is quite annoying and it's quite a problem. So I do have a Tacom model, a King Tiger, and then luckily in the Tacom instructions there's a couple of pictures of the engine from different angles, also from the back, which can be used. So also colors of different shells. So yeah, that is pretty useful if you have one of these, or you can look it up on the internet. That will going to help you to build this model. And yeah, so locking in instructions. I thought when I purchased the model, and I was the same with the Tacom, that when you're gonna open the kit, you will going to have colored instructions, or at least they're gonna give you the colors of which parts what color should be. However, all the way in 52 pages, there is no color indication whatsoever. So there is many places where you do have to kind of like figure out, or like I said, look up references about the colors. So yeah, I don't really find it a good point. So I think that should be, they should give more information as to be able to help to construct this model accurately. Because in the end of the day, we are modelers. We want to be, accurate as possible to building these models. Another problem I found, where I expected that, this is the instruction for this cutaway part model. So, I thought that it does going to tell you that, when you're going to build these elements in, if there's anything needs to be cut off or anything. Well, I assume that this instructions, Rayfield made it for general, for any Panther tank they put it out on the market. I think the same instructions comes with all the Panther tanks they have. So because this model's got the cutaway parts, that is when you go through the instructions and you get to the places where you have to put the cutaway parts in, it doesn't show in the instruction. So you again have to guess, which parts needs to be left out, which parts not gonna be visible, when you have to put the cutaway parts in, if there's anything that needs to be cut off by you. So there's no indication of that one, So I find that quite annoying, because there is a couple of parts or a couple of pieces, example like a support beams across, like example this one. So part of it will not be visible and you have to cut off, but they don't tell you that you have to cut off, so you have to come up with it yourself. It's the same here. This cross beam, which is supporting the top armor, half it would hang out, so you can't have it hang out. You have to cut it off yourself, but they don't tell you that you have to cut it. So it takes a lot of time for you to sit down, look at the instructions, and then try to figure out what is going on, what you have to do. So this is about the instructions, guys. And like I said, this model, it has to be built in phases. So the first phase is basically the gun barrel and the loading mechanism. The second one is the turret. The third one is basically the top armor. The fourth one is inside, and so on and so on. So always have to paint it, build it, paint it, assemble it, build it, paint it, assemble it. So it does take quite some time. So I'm gonna shut this video off now, and I'm gonna show you guys by phases, and hope you guys will enjoy. So at least it does give you some information what to look out for, and what things you need to pay attention to. All right, so see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.